Dr. Sethi laughs with people all around the world. Welcome and thank you.
Thank you very much. I think they will have the... Well, thank you very much, Joanna. Bill, I know how you feel right now. I mean, this is the men's life, you know, so we are with you. So welcome to the Women's Salon. Joanna, Bill, and Camille, you're very well known in this community for your philanthropic work and your what you have done in the community. And to have this evening, to have this educational program to empower the women is phenomenal. And I'm sure that everyone is grateful for that. Let's give Bill and Joanna a round of applause. So as you just saw, many people have given great talks here. And it is a very big shoe for me to fill. I hope I don't disappoint Bill, Joanna, and Camille. So this is me. This is, you know, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, I'm a heart surgeon, and I'm a part-time clown for the Children's Museum. So people ask me, why are you interested in laughter? What made you learn about laughter? Why are you so passionate about laughter? So a simple answer is this. So my girlfriend of 47 years, but actually we got married a few years ago, and that's a different story. So since we met 47 years ago, Neelam has told me all the time, laughter is a good medicine, it's a great medicine. And I kind of agree with that. But in the last 15 years or so, she really wanted for me to laugh and feel relaxed. So she will take me to the laughter clubs. And you know, so myself and Neelam and a good friend of ours, Dr. Phil Carter, who was the chief of neurosurgery a few years ago. So we'll go to the laughter club, and they will have this risky jokes. And Phil will look at me, I'll look at Phil, and we will just kind of smile a little bit. And I smile because these laughter jokes were too fast for me. Because, you know, English is my second language. So the Phil also didn't laugh too much. But on the way back, Neelam will tell me, you know, it's a great evening. I said, you know, what was so great evening about that? You laughed all the time. So slowly and slowly, she kind of worked on me. And a few years ago, we had an argument, which we never have. But an argument was about the laughter and about the integrative medicine. So Neelam had the experience firsthand how the alternative medicine cured her. So I told Neelam, she kept on talking about Dr. Weil, he cured me. And I said, you know, Neelam, it was a temporal effect. You know, you were getting better anyway. He happened to come in your life at that time. So give me a break, you know. I'm getting tired of Andrew Weil all the time. So she challenged me to take a fellowship with Andrew Weil. That's about 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, I spent 2 years with him, and since then I'm on the faculty at the Arizona Center of Integrative Medicine, and I learned a lot. I learned about life. I learned about how does other alternative therapies help you. But as a cardiac surgeon, allopathic guys, I didn't believe in that. I said, we need to have some research. We need to know how does it work. So on the insistence of Neelam, I kind of kept on working more and more on this laughter. So about 8 years ago or so, I had the distinct pleasure of inviting Dr. Madan Kataria. And Madan Kataria is the guy who founded Laughter Club. There are about thousands of them all over the world, in every continent. And here we are at our house doing laughter yoga. So, we're talking about laughter. We have known laughter for thousands of years. It has been mentioned in scriptures and has been in our Vedas about 5,000 years ago. We're talking about laughter yoga. And here is His Highness Dalai Lama doing a laughter yoga with one of the very well-known gurus in India. In Bible, it mentions a merry heart doth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit doth the bones. In Quran, it says, he deserves paradise who makes his companion laugh. And the festival of Purim in Israel, laughter is a very important part of the festival. Thank you. About 400 years ago, Dr. Thomas Sydenham, who is the father of clinical medicine, which we follow all the time, he said, the arrival in town of a good clown is of more benefit to the people than the arrival of 20 asses laden with medicine. That is still true as of today. It happens to be that we doctors don't believe in this thing. But so, Allah, 400 years ago he said that. But the research of laughter didn't start till late 60s and early 70s. This is Dr. Norman Cousins, who was sent to Russia by President Kennedy about the nuclear disarmament. He was a long-time editor of Saturday Review. So when he came back in 1967, he developed very bad back pain. It's a inflammation of the back. It's an autoimmune disease. And he fell down actually walking. So his wife took him to the doctor, and he said, nothing wrong with me. It is, it's because of stress. For the last few years, I've been under stress, and it's the bad air of Moscow, which made me sick. So he learned about his problem. He asked his doctor, what is my prognosis? And his doctor said, that probably 6 months. Most of the people die within 6 months. So he thought about it, and he checked out of the UCLA hospital, rented an apartment, and found that the joyous discovery, in his book he writes, I made the joyous discovery that 10 minutes of genuine belly laughter had an anesthetic effect and would give me at least 2 hours of painful sleep. So at that point, that time, he was a good friend with Groucho Marx, Alan Funt, right? So these guys will supply him the comic videos. And when he will wake up with the pain, they'll turn the projector on. And he eventually healed himself. Then he wrote a book, Anatomy of an Illness, and a movie was made on that. So that was the start of research on laughter. So what is laughter? As a scientist, you have to define everything. So what is laughter? Laughter is a non-verbal expression of happy emotion. It is an unconscious physiological response to humor, which produces distinct expressions on our face and makes a joyful sounds like ha 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 ha. And you can see the facial expressions. Everyone, when laughs, look at the facial expression. So according to Praveen, who did a good research in the 80s, he says that laughter is the ancient form of pre-linguistic vocal communication. Before we could talk, we communicated with laughter. Even though now we can communicate by speaking, but it has not replaced laughter. We still laugh. So we all have a laughing mechanism. God has given us vocal cords, lungs. So we all have a laughter mechanism. There are thousands of languages, hundreds of thousands of dialects, but everyone speaks laughter in the same way. So laughter is universal. But the sound which comes out of laughter from a different person is a different sound. So I tell you the way I laugh. It says, ha 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 ha. Where is Janet? Let's see how you laugh. Give her the microphone there.
I did it. That was it.
You did it? Norma, how you laugh? Let's hear a couple of more laughters. Any volunteers? So let me show you a few examples of laughter, okay? And I hope this works.
I got it.
That's Janet right there. Very common. You know. So those are some of the examples of laughter. I mean, in your life you have seen almost all of it. Some people laugh like this. So if you ask people what makes you laugh, so what will they say? It's jokes and humor, right? What makes you laugh is jokes and humor. But if you see them, they laugh during conversation, during talking, in a place like today. So no one was saying any joke today. At least I didn't hear any joke, but I heard a lot of laughter. And the person who's talking, he laughs more than the person speaking. So we have a different opinion in our family here. That's true or not, but I have done a lot of research, and that is true. Neelam, that's true. So laughter is associated with social interactions. When you're with the people, you tend to laugh. And you're 30 times more likely to laugh when you're with someone else than when you're alone. So it is not that only humans laugh. We do not have monopoly on laughter. The animals laugh too. Actually, the laughter came from our ancestors, the chimpanzees and gorillas. But they can't produce the laughter like we do because they can only have a breathing only one time. We can, because they have to use both, all the limbs. They do not have the power to produce more sound. And they laugh like this, like you're panting. And if you progress this further, what happens, ho, ho, ho. So this is the way it happens. So laughter is like love. It is universal. It transcends all barriers. It does not discriminate between age, color, race, or ethnicity, and not even a political party. It doesn't care, whether you're Democrat or Republican, you still laugh. And laughter is innate. According to Charles Darwin, you're born with laughter. The children who are blind, they do not see how people laugh. The people who are deaf, they cannot hear how people laugh. But if you look at the blind and the deaf people, they laugh like we do. So this is the innate, you're born with it. And children laugh between 300 to 400 times a day. But as we get older, we stop laughing. And if you laugh 12 to 15 times a day, you're doing very, very well. So one of my purpose tonight is to tell you to make yourself laugh more often. And we will do that tonight. So what happens to us when we laugh? This is the work done by Sophie Scott from London. So this is human chest, if you do not know. And these are ribs there. In between the ribs are intercostal muscles, which put the, So if you put a special electrodes on your chest and record it, so when you're breathing, on the top part of the breathing, you have a rhythmic contractions of the muscles, slow and even. When you're talking, the muscles doesn't have to work so hard. And as you can see, the contractions there are lower and they're irregular. Because if you're talking slowly, then these muscles don't contract as much. But if you talk louder, then they contract harder. And then if you keep on talking, and you take a deep breath, then you can see that drops down and talk again. But when you're laughing, these muscles have a very, very distinct and vigorous contractions. And you can see it at the bottom when you're laughing. And if you laugh like this, ha, 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 then you can see the contractions are there. Then you take a breath, and you laugh again, and contractions happen again. So this laughter takes over the breathing as well as your speech. It's a very powerful. It derails both things. And sometimes what happens is that it's spontaneous, and you laugh so much, and you can't control yourself. Have you had that time? Sometimes you can't control yourself. And you wonder why. So let me tell you a story about this. Any Polish people here? There. You know what Dingus Day is? No? Oh, then, I'm educating. I'm doing my job today. I'm educating the Polish people. I'm talking about their festival. So this is a Dingus festival, which is the end of Lent and beginning of Easter. And it happens, the Buffalo is the biggest Dingus festival. As you can see, it spells D-Y, not D-I. Right? Yeah. So about a couple of 3 years ago, Anderson Cooper was trying to talk about Dingus Festival. And I tell you what happens to him. You talk about laughter, you lose control of yourself.
The quirky little rituals include boys sprinkling girls that they fancy with water, and the girls striking back with a tap from a pussy willow branch.
Have you seen Anderson Cooper before like this? He leaves the stage. He tries to come back, compose himself.
It's really so stupid. Torture.
You know, it takes him a long time to come back and talk about Dingus
Let it out.
Festival again. So, what happens to us when we laugh? So, we did not know much about the mechanism of laughter till recently when we have a MRIs of the face and of the trachea. So first we thought that when we laugh, we use tongue a lot. But I will show you in a minute that we don't do that. We use tongue only when we talk. So you try yourself, you know, the faster you talk, the faster your tongue moves. When you slow down, your tongue moves slower. So here is what happens when you laugh. As you can see, the air comes out of the trachea, and I don't have the pointer, but epiglottis there, you know, the uvula there. See the thing moving there like a... And this is the way what happens to our vocal cord and our epiglottis when we laugh. So people talk about laughter is contagious, you know. What happens, why it's contagious? And that is because of this particular neurons in our brain. These are known as the mirror neurons. So when a person is saying something or laughing, the other person observes, looks at that and starts laughing. So this was detected only recently, about 20 years ago, and they found this mirror neurons in monkeys. So, and then we learned about human beings, and this was because of mirror neurons. So what happens, what is the physiology of laughter? So when you laugh, what happens? It is mostly expiration than inspiration. So when you laugh, it's mostly you're breathing out. And when you breathe in, then you get more air in your lung. I'll show you what happens. When you laugh, it's all expiration. Ha 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 ha. It's all expiration. The air is going out of you. And then take a deep breath. There's a recoil in the lung. You got more air in your lung. It gets rid of residual air. So about 40% of air in our lungs is residual air. It stays in your lung. It doesn't move. But when you laugh, you kind of juggle it up and start moving. And when you laugh, you're getting rid of carbon dioxide and getting more oxygen. And oxygen is very important for the body. So it becomes available for your cells, you get more energy. It decreases moisture in your bronchial tree. So if you do a laughter therapy, you'll find out that your throat becomes dry. And when the mucosa of the trachea is moist, it is a breathing, it's a place for the bacteria to grow. So the people who do laughter therapy, they have less infections. So we talked about stress. that stress is a primary or secondary cause for most of the diseases. So how do you manage stress? There are various ways to manage stress. One way to manage is, gee, I had a very tough day today. I need a drink. You hear it all the time, especially Friday. Oh, I can hardly wait till the weekend. I can really relax and have a few drinks. You go and see my colleagues, and they'll give you a bunch of pills, tranquilizers. Or you can activate your own body's responses to decrease stress. And these include breathing exercises, meditation, yoga, aerobic exercises. The exercise itself is a cure for depression. And guided imagery means, you guide yourself that you're happy. And then the list goes on. So the laughter therapy, which we are going to discuss in a few minutes, it contains the 5 parts which mentioned above. But we live in America. We want to have instant, we want to have it right away. So I'm learning how to relax, doctor, but I want to relax better and faster. I want to be the cutting edge of relaxation. But friends, you have to take time to relax. It doesn't come right away. So laughter yoga is a single exercise which reduces physical, mental, and emotional stress simultaneously. And at the same time, it strengthens the interpersonal relationship. We laughed today and we became friends. People we didn't know, we kind of talking to them today. So these are the physical health benefits of laughter. It boosts immunity, lowers stress hormones by decreasing cortisol level, by epinephrine level. It decreases pain. What happened to Norman Cousins? He found out this pain was gone because of dopamine and other hormones we secrete, especially it relaxes muscles and improves circulation. So it has been shown that the people who laugh, that endothelium, which is the lining of the blood vessel, relaxes. So there's a less chance of getting a heart attacks or vascular disease. So laughter is a tranquilizer with no side effects. It adds joy and zest to life, eases anxiety and tension, and we mentioned before, relieves stress. It improves their mood. You feel good after laughing. And this is what I was told many years ago, that is good for you. And the social benefits of laughter are well known to all of us. It strengthens relationship, attracts others to us. So if you are standing there and you're laughing, if the person is standing alone there, he will try to kind of, wonder what's going on here, And before you know, he'll join you, whether you like it or not. It enhances teamwork. In Japan and Korea, in many factories, they take the time out and laugh. And it makes people feel good. And it diffuses conflict. So there's a guy named Mark Levinson in San Francisco. What he did was to take couples and put them in a soundproof booth and stress them by various telling, the couple who managed diffuse their conflict by laughing, they were happier compared to those who didn't laugh. And it promotes group bonding. So laughter is the closest distance between two people.